now for this. I'm going to try this out for the first time. Let me just turn this on. All right, there we go. So I now have a lapel mic. Hey, Steve, no problem. Thanks for stopping in really quick anyway. I'm taking it you're not going to be going on after me tonight, so get your sleep. You got to be up early. That's fine. I'll catch you next time, all right? So anyway, I got this lapel mic. Trying to figure out how to get this thing hooked up to my shirt here. This is the correct time, Paul. You're on yesterday? Oh, man, I missed you. I just assumed you were going to be on after me tonight, so all right. Let's see, is this thing going to stay? Let's see. You guys hear me okay? I think this is working. Hold on. You know, me and technology. Let's see, let's get this here. And get this here. Is it working? Oh boy. All right, give me one more second, guys. Sorry about this. I got a thick sweatshirt on. Pull my t-shirt up a little bit here. This was recommended to me by Ray, and I picked one up, tested it out before, and it worked really nice. So we shouldn't have any audio issues tonight, hopefully. All right, there we go. I'm all set. Test 1, 2, 3. You guys can hear me? All right. All right, guys, thanks for being with me tonight. Appreciate it. Saturday night, like I said, we missed last week because of Amherst. Had a really good time up there, but left a day early. We left Saturday night right after the show closed at 5 p.m. Hey, Bob, how are you? Because of Snowmageddon, and I'm really glad I left because Ray was talking about, you know, he stayed until the end on Sunday, and he lives in Connecticut. He had a hard time getting out of there, and I think he stayed an extra night up in Springfield area, and then went home after that. So I heard from a lot of people, hard time getting home, flights, driving. So I think I made the right call, even though I really would love to have stayed the full time, but there's next year, you know. So anyway, guys, I hope you had a great week. I don't know if you caught the short. I did go ahead and finish weathering one of the cars last week, during the week, actually this past week. I did it Sunday night, actually last week, during the Zoom call with a bunch of my friends. And I went and finished up this one car. So I really wanted to test out what I wanted to do with it before I moved on to the last car. So tonight we'll be working on the last car. So, hey Chris, how you doing? I know you're getting a lot of snow there down in Carolinas there. Keep it down there. Don't send it up here. I don't want any more snow up here. So, all right, so we're gonna work on this car to make it look somewhat like this car. Maybe a little less, definitely not more. This one was a little heavy. I might try to go a little less on this one. Anyway, thank you again for being here tonight. As customary on Saturday night, we are going to open up our beer. It's Trains and Beer every Saturday night. Trains, weathering, and beer. So, all right. You better leave it down there, please, Chris. So tonight we're going with the Well-Being Victory Wheat Beer with electrolytes. It has electrolytes in it, so it's actually it's good if you're working out, which I don't really do anymore. But it's a wheat beer with a hint of orange, and of course this is non-alcoholic because I pretty much don't drink alcohol anymore. Even though up in Springfield I did have a couple of bourbons, did have a couple of German beers at Student Prince. I am not totally alcohol free. I just prefer not to drink it most of the time. But I do make exceptions for an occasional outing with friends. So anyway, Little Well-Being Victory Wheat. Let's give it a pour. And I can really taste this already, even though it's freezing cold here in New Jersey. I am going to have a cold brew. So cheers, everybody. Happy Saturday night. All right. So we left off last time with, we did the fade on both cars. And yeah, but yeah, you had a drink with me when you were up there for NERPM. You left me alone this time, buddy. You didn't come up. Yeah, yeah. If you don't get a chance, if you guys get a chance, I don't know if Ray posted it yet, but the guys from Home Shops took pictures of Paul's car, the car that I weathered for Paul, his Allagash car, and they posted on Ray's diorama at the around the layout booth on the diorama. Oh, excuse me, a little beer burp there, beer burp. And it looked really good on the diorama. So if you have a chance, it might be on Home Shop's homepage, or it might be, maybe Ray will post it, or maybe I'll post a picture on the channel. I'm having a brain fart today, guys. On the channel's page. So, all right. Anyway, so like I said 2 weeks ago, we weren't on last week. We did the fade. We used the color wheel. We figured out what colors we were going to fade with. We did our fade all the way around both cars. We were attempting to do 2 cars at one time. And that worked all right for a while. But I think I want to really, don't want to rush it. I want to take my time. So like I said, Sunday night during a Zoom call with a bunch of my friends, we do a Zoom call every Sunday night and do a little modeling and BSing and stuff online on a Zoom call. I finished this up. So I did what I normally do. We did some washes across the top, streaked them down, went along the bottom with the grime. But the big difference was that I went inside and did a big rush job on the inside of the car. So did a heavy rush job. So we're going to try to replicate that today on this car right here. See, did I miss anybody else to say hi to? I said hi to Chris. I see Paul. Hi, Paul. How are you? Bob Stetzer. Hey, Bob. My buddy Bobby Hall. Bobby Hall. I got a haircut, buddy. I'm not a Wildman anymore with the hair. If you guys watched a little live thing they did from Springfield with Ray, you say I saw my wild hair. It's probably the longest I've grown it in probably about 20-something years, maybe 30 years. But it was just getting unwieldy. So I decided to cut it off. So I'm back to clean shaven, Bobby. So anyway, let's see who else we got here. We got John Gavin. Hey, John, how are you? Let's see. About time, yeah, right? Well, let me tell you guys, my wife, I always shave my head, not because I'm bald. I always said I chose to be bald because I shaved my head. And my wife always told me, I like you with hair. Why don't you grow some hair? So finally, I grew some hair. But it got so long that she started complaining, your hair's getting too long. Why don't you cut it? I said, man, that can't please you. You know, I was going to grow it long. And said I was going to put a little ponytail on the back, I told her, and everything else. And then, but it just got to the point where it was getting unwieldy. And I had to use a brush, and then I was going to have to start blow drying it and styling it. I said, you know what? I'm not doing that. So I went back with the #1 clipper. I didn't do all the way down to 0 like I normally do. I left a little bit of fuzz on top, and I cut it back down again. So I'm back to clean shaven. Here, Bobby, I'll show you, Bobby. Hold on. Oh, wait. See? Clean shaven, buddy. Yeah, I know. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. You know. Can't please them. So let me take another drink, guys, and we'll get started. All right. So what we're going to do is I want to do the inside of the car first. Another face for radio. You know that, buddy. And Chris, I was on radio for a little while too. But This is why I'm not in the movies and I'm not on TV. And I don't show myself in the videos, except for that brief appearance at Amherst with Ray. Anyway, so what I want to do is I'm going to do the inside first. And then, let's see, what did I do on that? I want to do the inside first. I want to do it with an acrylic, all right? So we're using acrylic rust on the inside tonight, which is what I used on the other car, all right? I want that because it's going to dry. Yeah, I started the last feed, Paul, wearing gloves. I'm figuring it's probably not the best thing to be having my skin soaked in enamels, and it's bad enough I'm breathing them in, even though the stuff is pretty inert. It doesn't have too much of a smell to it. Only time I noticed when it smelled and my wife complained was when I was using the Pigment Fixer a couple of weeks ago. Then she said she could smell it upstairs. So I'm going to try and go with gloves and be a little more cleaner, a little more safe. Anyway, so on the inside of the car, we're going to use an acrylic because I want it to dry quickly, because we're going to go back with an enamel wash to make it a little tacky and use our pigments. Okay, so we're going to use the rust enamel wash to attach some of the pigments to the side of the car, inside of the car, and the bottom of the car. We're going to go with a combination of different rust colors inside and some of the earth tones, like the Russian and dark earth. As you can see in here, there's little variations of pigment tones in there. So we use that to get that to stick. And then we're going to go around the side of the car with the enamel wash and the pigments on the bottom. All right. Last thing we'll do is we'll go to the trucks and do the trucks and the wheels. All right, so let's get started. So I kind of pre-mixed. I went with what Steve said I probably should do, is mix some of my colors first, and which was what I did. I just give this a little precursory extra mixing. I'm going to drop her some of our rust acrylic in there. A few more drops than I normally do. I want to make sure I got enough to cover the bottom of the car. Let's bring the tray over here. And we're going to coat the inside of the car with these with this pigment. All right. Just spread that out. Being an acrylic, it's going to dry quicker. We're going to be able to go back with the enamel to do the wash and the pigments. A little bit goes a long way here. We're going to do the same thing on the sides. We got some more paint in the tray here. Hope everybody had a good week. How many people went to Amherst? It was a good show. It got very crazy on Saturday, which we all kind of predicted it was going to be because of the impending storm. It's one of the few times I've ever seen them predict a storm so far out and get it right. I think we had about, I want to say about 14 to 16 inches here in the New Jersey area. And up in Springfield, I heard it got about 16, 17 inches. So, you were there Saturday? Bob, I didn't see you. There were so many people, right? It's hard to catch up. And I wasn't staying in any particular spot. Normally, we're with Short Line Hobbies, my friend Tom Callan, but Tom had a medical issue that he wasn't allowed to fly, so he bailed at the last minute. And we still had our badges, so we walked around. We were walking around and just talking to people, meeting up with friends, which is the fun part of going up to Springfield. Somebody said it's like a reunion every year. That and RPMs are like that for me too. Right, so we're doing the whole inside of the car with the rust. Doesn't have to be neat. Just want to cover it. Some of the green showing through, that's fine. Yeah, me and Dave roomed together, Bobby. Found out at the last second that Dave was still going to go. He had a room. I had a room. I canceled my room, and we bunked together. So we kind of hung out together the whole weekend. It was just pretty much just me and him from our regular crew. Although Heist did come up too. Ralph Heist came up. Yeah, see a lot of friends spend a lot of money. That's usually what happens up there, Bob, right? But I didn't spend a lot of money. I actually sold a couple items. I had a friend of mine, Dan Notley, who owns Yelton Model Works up in Canada. And Dan was there. He was there with Spring Creek Model Trains. And Dan had asked to purchase two of the cars that I had weathered on the live stream not too long ago. The Penz N5 caboose with the train phone antenna, and he bought the Penz tangent gondola. So those were cars that I've done in the past, if you guys remember, on the live. And Dan liked them, and he asked if he could buy them, and I said sure. You know, I buy a lot of stuff off of Dan, and he bought something off of me for once there. So I'm glad they went to a good home. I'm looking forward. He posts videos every so often of trains running by on his layout. He's got a Pennsylvania Railroad layout, and I'm looking forward to seeing the run by with those cars. So, all right, so we did the inside very quickly with the acrylic. See a couple spots I want to just touch up a little bit. Let a little green stay showing through, it's fine. I toyed around with maybe just doing less inside and doing some chipping inside, but I decided I wanted more to look like that car than this car, on this car, so. Anyway, so hopefully Dan will be having us on his layout pretty soon, so. All right, so we're gonna shift gears. We're gonna go over to the sides of the car, and we're gonna do our normal run around the car with the wash. We're going to use, because it's a green car, we're going to be using our dark brown for green vehicles. Dark brown for green vehicles right here, mid product. And I did shake it before. Just going to give it a tiny little bit more shake here. Open it up and put some a couple droppers worth in the tray over here. Okay. And I did forget to get some paper towel out. Let me get some paper towel out. Yeah, I didn't spend a lot of money. I know, Bob, you said you spent a lot of money. I did sell something, so I had a little extra spending money when Dan bought the cars off of me. But I did find a couple of bargains on Friday before the show opened up. With the nice things about being there as a dealer or a vendor or a participant, a show display participant, is that you get in early and you see some of the deals before anybody else gets in. So I found a guy selling out of his collection, and I got these two tangent 86-foot auto parts box cars. So this is the quad plug door box car. And then I got the double plug door box car. Both of them Penn Central. So very good, very, very good price. And he had another one. I didn't want to buy three. I really can't run these anywhere unless I get onto a modular group, but I couldn't pass up the deal, and it's Penn Central. So, you know, that's a hard one for me to pass up. So anyway, let's move on here. We're going to get a clean brush. We're going to dip into our wash, and we're going to start running across the top. Now, I did find I was having some difficulty getting some of this to run down. It will run down the sides, like especially if you want to do like a pin wash thing down the ribs. I mean, down the vertical ribs. But the horizontal ribs, I kind of had a brush in between like this, which goes against normally what I do. But I want to get some of that wash in there to settle on the tops of those ribs. So let's see how it goes now. Give it a good dip and run across the top. And you can see some of it's running down the side already. Okay. And then we're going to stroke some down randomly. Okay, try to brush off a little bit. Go back, take some of the excess off. Let's put that brush down. Let's go back with a wider, clean brush. Just brush a little stiff. Just unstiffen it a little bit. There we go. Gonna blend that in. Really try to work it into some of those vertical ribs there. Let's get one of our sponges now and lightly wipe away, especially on these panels here. I don't want the panels to be too overdone. Okay, I'm going to move to the end, one of the end parts. Same thing, run it across the top. And give a couple of strokes down like that into the brake wheel. Take off the excess. You guys can still hear me pretty good? I'm finding I'm talking a little lower now that I know I got a mic. Hopefully you guys hear me all right. Hey, Justin, how are you? Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. 5-5. Yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Let me, for the mic check there. Glass of wine. There you go. You're going a little different than me. I got a nice glass of beer. You got a glass of wine, Justin, and anything works. And you guys are getting hammered down here from what I understand, right? You're down in the southern states there like Chris. All right, so go back here a little bit more. All right, so we got an end and we got a side done. All right, let's move to our other side. I'm going to repeat the process again. Let's get our brush, dip it into our wash, and run it across the top. One more time. Let's hold the car here so it drips down on the panel a little bit. All right, then drag some of it down. Especially into those grooves there. Random strokes. Let's dry that off. Let's grab a different brush. I didn't like that brush. The other one was a little stiff there. Yeah, let's go with this one here. All right, yeah, I like that one better. And again, as a reminder, if you're new here, we do the washes along the top edges of cars. Brush it down because it's going to represent grime that's being washed down by rain off the roofs or off the tops of the sides of the cars. Let's go back with the sponge. Like I said, especially on our panels. I don't want it too crazy on the panels. and just wipe away some of that excess. Okay. Got one more end to do. We did that end already. We got this end right here. So how much snow are they calling for down there, guys? In the Carolinas and Georgia. I think you're supposed to get walled pretty bad. Bomb cyclone, right? All right. Give this a little shot with the sponge. Justin, I was telling Chris, keep that stuff down there. Don't send it up here. We had enough last week. All right. All right, so we went around the whole car. All right, we did across the top, brought it down, streak it all the way around. While it's still a little damp, we want to go back now to the first side we worked on and give it a little shot of the grime on the bottom now. All right, so we're going to get our earth tones. Like I've said in the past, I like to mix up a little bit of the pigments of Russian earth. This is track rust, actually. Here, where is it? Go soil. Did I take it out? Yeah, I get the Russian earth. I don't have it out, but and the dark earth pigments. So these are just paint pigments that are ground up. If you were to add thinner to it or some carrier, odorless thinner, stuff like that, you could actually mix it into a paint. So we're going to add a little bit of this along the bottom now. So we're going to take one of our brushes. Is this one or this one? Let's see. Let's use this guy right here. We're going to dip it into the paint pigments. This is going to represent grime that's kicked up along the roadbed up to the side of the car. So drag it across the bottom of the car. Usually kick it up a little extra on the side, on the end. And then we're going to kind of just brush it up to kick it up the side. And go back. The sponge, just take some of the excess away. All right, we're going to continue that around the car. Going to move on to the end here. Dip a little in there. And you also kind of want to do is a little bit up the side like this where the treads are from the car. What happens is that the car that's following, ahead of us, is ahead of this car is going to be kicking up grime in kind of like a splash pattern up over the wheels there. All right. Blow off the excess. So you can see, whoops, sorry. This side here, we did it. Over here, now we're going to move on to the back side of the car. Same thing. Let's give it a little bit of shot on the bottom. 19 without the wind chill, and that's South Carolina, right? Or Georgia. Yeah, that's cold for you guys. I got a buddy of mine lives in Bluffton down there by you, and he still has his pool open, but I don't know if he's. I think he's got a screened in over it, got an eye over it. I'm not sure. So he's getting snow. So I don't know if he's getting snow inside his pool, but I'm sure when it warms up in a week or two, he'll be back in the pool again. So. All right, so we went across the bottom. We're kicking some of the dust up. Again, the grime gets kicked up from the roadbed up, and your grime from the roofs or from the top of the cars get washed down. Right. Blow off the excess. Give it a little wipe. There you go. Okay. One more end to do. Then we're going to go back to the inside of the car. So again, we're going to put a little bit on the bottom, and we're going to kick some up where the wheels are. A little bit more on there. Awesome. Now let's give it a look. We did it all the way around the car. So you can see this side is drying. Yeah. My buddy's crazy. He moved from up here in New Jersey, not too far from where I lived, and he keeps it open, and he goes in the pool. Sometimes I think he shows us like 60-something degrees of water. He's a better man than me. But he's got a hot tub too, so I'm sure he goes from hot tub to pool back to the hot tub. So let's work around here, just take a look, see if there's anything we want to improve on. So you can see this is a pretty quick process today, all right? I tend to think that when we're doing our fade, that's what really takes a lot of the time up in our time together. So, all right, so we did all the way around the car. Look inside, at least you can see inside this acrylic, it dried very quickly. So I'm happy with that. So we're gonna go back now and get some of our rust wash. So I have a couple different shades of rust wash. This is track wash. This is tracks for tanks. Again, this is mostly stuff that military modelers use. All right. So we use this one. I do have a light rust wash and I have a medium, but I use the track wash in here because we're going to go with the track wash just to dampen the inside a little bit, and we're going to use the lighter color rusts to give us the shade variations inside the car. So we shook this up before. We just give it another little shake. All right, and we'll drop her some of this into the tray. There you go. You're up in Canada, John, right? -20. Is that Celsius or is that Fahrenheit? I think you said you're in Canada. Let me know if I'm wrong. Let me have another drink here. Cheers, guys. Happy Saturday night. Yeah, let's put this away. All right, so we got our track wash in the middle one right here. Let's go back with another brush. Yeah, 30 degrees centigrade. That's like almost 100, right, Paul? Celsius. All right, so you're 20, -20, yeah, you're about 0, I think, yeah. A towel warmer next to you. Look at you, man. You're living the high life. Towel warmer next to your hot tub. Nice. Nice. I don't want to say I'm jealous, but I'm jealous. You guys with your hot tubs, yeah. All right, so we're going to go with a very, very thin, light coat of wash inside the car. And we're not really doing it for the coloration, but more to give us a little tackiness for something to pigment to stick to. Boogie. Yeah. So we're going to do that all the way around the car, inside, the sides, the bottom. We just want something that's a little tacky that's going to help our pigments to adhere. Let that settle just for a few seconds. Let it get tacky. Dry this brush off. So the car I did Sunday night, I kind of accidentally got wash onto the trucks and a little bit of rust. I didn't go and do anything with the cursed soil and the pigments. I might go back and do it tonight, but I kind of like how it looks now, so we'll see how this one comes out. All right, blowing out a little bit. Get it tacky. Now we're going to go inside with the mixture of our rust colors. So I have a little bit, you can see a little bit of each color in here. I got some of the very light rust here. Got the medium rust, and I have the track rust, which is, again, the darkest rust that you can get. These are all pigments, and this is what you would find on the tracks of tanks, right? Especially if they've been sitting for a little bit. All right, so we're going to go in and we're going to start just dabbing some of this in there. We're not going to paint it in there. We're going to just kind of dab it in loosely. Let me get the car over here so the car doesn't roll around. See, we're just depositing it in there. Nice. It's very rare probably that you get snow down there, right? That's a nice little treat for the kids. So again, we're extra long brush here, guys. I got the camera mounted higher up, but I'm hitting it with this brush. Can't win. How hot was it? It must have been really hot. You had to do that, right? $95? The hot tub was 95 or the outside temperature was 95? All right. Yes. All right. Nice. So we're going to shake this around a little bit. Get this covering the inside really good. Shake around the excess. And we're going to try and knock the excess back into the tray. You can see how this is coming out already. So this is just pure rust in there now. So what we're going to do is we're going to get back and now again, and we're going to put a little bit of our earth tones in there. Again, this is a mixture of Russian earth and dark earth. So we're going to drop some of that in there randomly. Not a lot. Just enough to make the illusion of dirt mixed in with the grime there, with the rust. I'm going to pat some of this down with the brush. And the last thing we're going to do is we're going to go in with a little bit of fixer, just to set some of this up. And this is the stuff that gets a little smelly that my wife complains about, so I'm going to try and go easy with this. This is MIG Pigment Fixer. Yeah, I don't have a clean dropper here, so use this. All right. Let's go with this brush, and we will just kind of dab that in there, wet it up. Especially the stuff that's on the bottom of the car here. I want this to really adhere. So we did have a lot of it already sticking to the car just from the inside the car being damp from the wash. But now we're going back in with the Pigment Fixer. And when that dries, it'll look like the dry pigment again. So a lot of this stuff will just evaporate away and just kind of leave it fixed. Again, we're just dabbing it on the side there. Okay. I'm going to clean the brush off. All right, so it's wet inside. It's going to take probably about 5-10 minutes for it to start to dry. You're going to start seeing that it's going to dry to looking like this on the inside. All right. So while waiting for that to dry, we are going to go back and take care of our wheels and trucks. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and use the cursed soil like we normally do. And again, you don't have to use cursed soil every time, guys. If you have any kind of a brown or a grayish clay color or a brown or whatever, you could use that as your base to get the pigments to adhere to the side of the truck, because it's the color pigments that you use, which is what's going to give it the texture and the color of the car. So what's underneath doesn't really matter. You could even use like a dark rust tone paint, probably would work too. All right, so the cursed soil. Let's get another brush here. Let's see. Do we have a smaller brush? Yeah, we use this brush here. Okay, so I get the cursed soil. I paint the side frames of the trucks. Not at all, Bobby. I'm using my what I've seen in pictures that's in my head, and I'm going with what feels right to me. Before I started these cars 2 weeks ago, I did refer to some pictures. I'm sorry, guys, I'm out of camera here. I did refer to some pictures to see what they look like, or some of the cars look like. And some of them were beat up pretty bad. Some of them were looking pretty new. So we are going off of that. All right. Got the cursed soil on the side of the trucks. Let's go back with our pigment brush. Get some of the pigment that was earth tones there. And we're going to put that into the paint. And you guys can see that. So it goes from that to that. Tap off the excess. Do the same thing on this side. And we got a little bit of rust that's spilled on the mat here. I'm going to take a little bit of that rust and put it into the springs. Blow off the excess. Take a look. Maybe a little bit more rust. Hey Ray, how you doing? I'm using my new mic setup. Now let's go to the other side now. Let's get our cursed soil. Yeah, Ray, I'm using the new mic setup. It's like you said, very easy to set it up. Just plugged and played, and that's it. Plug and play. And get this cursed soil on here. Oh man, that's not a good thing to be doing. Coldest day of the year. All right. Let's go back with our oversized, let's use this brush here. The other brush is way too big. Pick up some of our earth colors, dab it on there. On the other side. And come back with some of the spilt rust over here. Add that to it. Let's give it a look. Get some good light over here. Next thing I got to work on, Ray, is lighting. Got the audio down now. I need to work on the lighting now. All right, so we've done the side frames on both sides. Gonna go back and do the rust on the wheels now. Give this a little shake on the shaker again. Ray, I forgot to tell you, thank you so much for giving me a shout out on the podcast that you did with Paul. I know you mentioned a couple of times the live stream, Saturday night live streams. So I really appreciate that. Thank you. Guys, make sure you are listening to Around the Layout podcast. New episodes come out every week. You can catch the replays of the best ofs that come out also every week. Okay, we're going to go with our rust now. We are going to do our wheels. So again, thank you, Paul. I appreciate your promotions too. Had an awful guessy or guest? Guest, yes. Nah, it was a very good guest. It was one of the ones better ones that I've heard lately. I mean, all of them are usually pretty good, but it was very good podcast, very good subject matter. All right, so we're working the rust into the wheels again. Again, like I said, you don't need a fancy wheel jig. You got to go crazy taking the wheels off of the car. If these are the wheels you're going to use, you get a micro brush, get it in there, spin it with your finger, and you get a nice rust effect, especially after it's dried. That's what it looks like when it's dry. So. Yeah, the hobby's in good hands with younger guys like Paul and Dennis, the new ambassadors. And I'm glad Ray gave gave you guys a shout out and spotlighted you on the podcast. All right, so we got this side done. Like I said, the wheels look a little lighter while they're wet, but they do dry to a more subtle rust color. All right, let's get this side now. It's one. That's two. That's three. One more. There you go. All right, so we got our side frames done, our wheels done. You can see the inside starting to dry now. Looks a little dark as it's drying, but it will dry to a lighter color. And we can even go back while it's drying. We can even add a little bit more rust to it. Just in spots, especially the lighter stuff. And that'll dry. can even add some of the earth tones in there. A little extra in there. Nice. So that gave her like a little bit of a rust patch effect inside now. And again, this will dry probably after a couple hours, and it'll look just like this car in here. All right, so that's all fixed in there really nicely. It's not going to come out. It's not going to rub off on your fingers or nothing like that. All right, let's give the car a once around. Let's see what's going on with this. All right, we started. I got a little smudge off my fingers here. Let me wipe my hands off real quick, even with the gloves. Only trouble with doing like I do here, because we're working within the confines of an hour trying to get stuff done. Sometimes when stuff's still a little bit wet, like on the side of the car, if I have pigment on my fingers from something else, it might smear onto the side of the car, which is not a big deal, because we clean our hands off, we will go back with a sponge, give that a wipe, and all that's doing is adding to the rust, adding to the effects anyway. All right, you guys know a little rust spot right there, so it's not bad. Same thing on this side. All right. Let's give it a spin for your seal of approval here, guys. I don't know what you think. One side, the end, the other side, the end, the wheels. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Paul. Looks rusty. That's what we're going for, Paul. You know, so it's Penn Central in the 70s. A lot of deferred maintenance. Car is well used. Just gonna wipe a little bit more there. And let's compare it against the other car. Thank you, Bobby. Thanks, Bob. Bob and Bob. Robert Hall and Bob Stetzer. Let's go to the other side. All right. So they don't look exact. They're weathered similar, but they're not exact. So, and that's that. Oh, the mixer is very weathered. You can see right there. It's getting rusty. Thank you, Justin. Yeah, it's being well used, Ray. It's one of the best things I got. I really appreciate it. It's being well used. It gets a lot of use. Unfortunately, the inside of my weathering ammo box here that I keep the weathering stuff, there's been some spillage in there, and it tends to get on the bottom of the bottle. I got to clean this thing off, but yeah, it's got some patina. You're right, Chris. That's all the rage now with classic cars, right? Cars with some patina on them. But I'm going to have to clean it off eventually. But hey, it's not affecting how it works, and it's getting the job done, so I'm happy with it. So, well, anyway, guys, I really appreciate you being here on a Saturday night. Unfortunately, like I said, Steve had to leave. He's not going to be on tonight. Normally, I would point you to head right over to Steve's channel and check out what he's building. He's been doing mostly all buildings and stuff, and really awesome what he does. But he's not on tonight because he's got to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. He said he was on last night. Oh, so keep going. Should I weather another car there, right? uh, I don't know, guys. It's 1 hour in. Let's see. We have how many people we have here? 11 people. I don't know. You want me to do something else? Give me a thumbs up. I guess I could start something else. Crack another beer. I still got a little bit of this beer here. All right, let's see. Take a couple of drinks. All right, so everybody, thumbs up if you want me to keep going, and I'll take another car out. That's good beer. All right, let me put these off to the side. You can see this is starting to dry, so you can see what I'm talking about. Thumbs up. Thank you, sir. Bobby Hall, thumbs up. All right. So it looks like rust particles in there. All right. We can give a little shake out there, get some of that excess out of there. All right, guys. Let me get another car, and I'll start again. And get these guys. I'll put these guys off to the side, maybe up on the layout. I'll be right back. All right. Okay, I'm back. Let me clean my mat off here a little bit. It's got a little bit of too much pigment sitting on it. And that'll definitely affect the next car I do. Wipe it down with a little bit of alcohol. Back from the commercial break. Yep. So wet a towel with some alcohol. Give this a quick wipe. And then we'll start on something else. Any requests? Boxcar, the gondola, flat car, hopper car. Any colors? You want a Tuscan? You want a black car? See if we have anything out on the layout that I can grab off the layout quickly. Covered hopper, 50-foot high cube. I don't think I have any 50-foot high cubes. Let me see what I got here. I'd have to go into one of my train boxes to get the hopper out. If I was going to do a hopper, let me see. What's this? This Rapido car. This is a Evans X72 box car. That's not a high cube. Ray, what's the error on the high cubes? It might be a little bit after my error. I'm not sure. Let's see what we got over here. Although I do have the 86-foot box car. Oh. I guess this could be considered a high cube. It'd be another green, another Penn Central green. Oh, that's the only problem. Exact rail. There you go. Well, you could do that. You should be bringing stuff up to display. All right, so we got a. We can get this thing to focus. It's kind of like it's a Greenville 60-foot double plug door box car. It's kind of like a high cube a little bit. It's another green car. I don't know if I want to do another green car. Let me look and see what else I got. Yeah, looking in my pile over here. Just bear with me, guys. I know you can still hear me, so that's good. Another green car. Everything's green. You know what? Let me grab another hopper, but maybe not a coal hopper. See if I can get a Pennsy hopper someplace here. Let's see. What's in my train box here? Here you go. Almost there, guys. All right. I'm back. Hopefully I didn't lose too many people. So what do you think? Maybe Lehigh Valley coal hopper? Do you approve of that, Bobby? Bobby Hall? So kind of like a Tuscan red, Oscar brown type of thing. All right, yeah. So it gives us something a little different. Do it to it. All right. All right, so let's try maybe get into a fade tonight. We can always finish up with the weathering another time. We'll see how far we get into this. We're at 68 minutes, so it's almost an hour, 10 minutes tonight. All right, so we got a Lehigh Valley hopper with one of my homemade coal loads. One of these days, I'll show you guys how I do this. Little pink styrofoam that I cut down to size and covered with black sand and sanding grout. Black sanding grout. So we're going to take the load out and work on this car. So let's get the color wheel out. It's going to be a lot like our Pennsy hopper that we did and then the Virginian hopper that we did way back when. It's going to be along those color lines. So I think we almost already got it lined up to where it's kind of close to this red-orange over here. Let's see if we add some different colors to it. Yeah. If we add a little red to orange. So that's basically, and across from that is blue. That's how you can do your removable. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty easy. I mean, you can make these coal loads out of styrofoam. This is the pink styrofoam, cut it down to shape, painted it black, put the sand over the top, the black sand over the top with the sanded grout, and bonded it together with white glue. So, well, wet glue. All right, so we're going to go with a little bit of blue, maybe a little bit of green for our fade, definitely some white. Again, let's just look at it one more time, make sure we got this right. So it's not quite that color, but if we turn to here, it's a little closer. Let's go to red, adding red now. Let's try, just double check our colors. Just adding black to red, I guess it's close to that color. We're not going to add any black though. All right, so our colors for fading, we're going to use some green, because green is the opposite of red. And since this is, since we're looking at, if we add red to orange, it gets us closer to that color, we're going to add a little bit of blue. So some green, some blue, and some white. All right, for our fade. So let's see. Let's get out the green. Let's get out the blue. Where's my blue? I don't know if we use the lighter green or the darker green. I think we use the lighter green. And the blue. All right. Getting technical? No, yeah. I could have done a fade on when I had the bushy hair. I forgot. I showed Bobby earlier, Ray, you missed it. So I cut it all off. Owens was all upset. He was calling me Ted with my luxurious hair. And I sent him a picture. I said, I cut off all my luxurious hair. He said, no. So that's that. All right, so I got some white. So let me just mix these up real quick. I said, as soon as I got to start getting the blow dryer out and really start fussing with it, and I got to stop. But that's probably the longest. When you saw me on the weekend, right, that's the longest I had my hair in about 20-something years, maybe close to 30 years since I've had it that long. So, and it's funny because in high school I had my hair down to my shoulders, which is hard to believe, but it's true. I got pictures. All right, and let's just get the green. All right. All right, so as usual, you know, I know, Justin, you said something about the technical stuff. It's just to get a good fade. Again, I'll explain the color wheel to you really quick. You know, every color has got an opposite color that's complementary, right? So with red, it's green, all right? With blue, it's orange, all right? So that's whatever's across the wheel from that color, all right? For yellow, all right, it's violet, all right? So if you want to mute out your colors, you're going to go with the color that's opposite. So the start of a fade is always you want to mute the color, and then after you mute the color, then you're going to use like a little lighter color like a white, or say in the case that if you're using green as your opposite color, you can add a little bit of yellow, all right? And yellow is going to help fade that color down a little bit more too. With the our Tuscan red, or because basically it's just almost like a Pennsy color, because Pennsy did own Lehigh Valley for a long time, so they did adopt a lot of the color schemes from the Pennsy. We are going to use these colors because these are going to be complementary and lighting up the colors to get that fade going for us, right? So we're going to start off with the green. I'm going to try to go, I tend to go a little heavy-handed sometimes. I'm going to put some dots of green across the car. And go back with the blue, same thing. Some dots of blue. And we're going to go with a bunch of white. And I figured I was having trouble with this white cap here. There we go. And again, the white's going to be what's going to lighten it up after the colors are muted. All right. We're going to take a brush, clean this guy off. Let's see. Got to grab a new brush. I wasn't prepared for this guy to do another car, so I'm going to get some clean brushes out of the box here. And then it'll be a lot better. There we go. And again, we're just using dollar store brushes, so $1 a pack from Dollar Trees. $1.25 now. Actually, everything's $1.25. So take a bunch of these brushes out. Push these guys to the side. All right. You take a brush, and we are going to now take this paint and blend it all in. We're going to really rub it in good. This is why we use cheap brushes, because you see this brush is getting beat up already. Change brushes. And you can see it's fading it out. See, you know, a lot of people get a little worried. They see all the little specks of opposite color on the car and get a little worried about it. But as you can see, that really starts to work in and fades the car. Get into the ladders there. Let's take one of our little sponges here and just kind of work it in a little bit more. I'll bring it up close. And you can see how this is starting to fade out, right? So it's got the complementary colors, toned down that Tuscan red color. Just taking the shine away. Yeah, Paul. I don't know if you walked away for a few seconds there, but I finished up about the hour mark, and everybody's yelling for encore, encore. You know, gave me thumbs up that they wanted me to start another car. I says, all right, I'll start another car. So this is the encore of this week's weathering, Saturday Night Weathering. So just take a look at that. You look at that compared to here, all right? Took those opposite colors, mixed it with a little bit of white, and we got ourselves a nice little fade going on here. Very subtle. Flip the car over. Yeah, Paul, I don't know how far we're going to go with this guy tonight, but I figure we'll do a little bit more time. All right, so we're going to go back with our green. Random spots across the car. Same thing with the blue. Random dots. I do not take credit for this. This was shown to me by my buddy Dave Appadesano, who's a excellent weatherer, model weatherer. He's one of the people that usually are around with Butch Eiler. In fact, those two guys are very good friends, very close friends. And I learned a lot from them guys. So I always try to give credit to Dave and Butch for some of the new stuff that I try and do. So I did not, this particular part of the weathering job, this is not me. This is inspired from those guys. Now, the other stuff I do with the washes and stuff were stuff I developed myself, but this whole fading technique was taught to me by those guys. So I really appreciate it. That's the fun thing about this hobby. Everybody willing to share the techniques and what they do and help others learn. So, all right, so we're going to work this in. And again, it's going to look like a big mess on the side of the car. But as we keep going back and working it, it's going to all blend in. And when it blends in, it's going to be just a faded, muted color. Can't really work into these ladders here. It's hard to get in there. Forget to get some down here on these slope sheets here. Such a deal. 20 bucks for Home Shops weathered Allagash boxcar. I think Paul C bought one of those. Cost him a lot more than 20 bucks. Cost him a lot more than 20 bucks, and then it's this one's weathered even. So yeah, Paul, you got a few months before that car gets into your hands. I think you better be worried. Let's get into the brush. I think this pack of brushes I just opened up are super cheap. You have to do a different pack. Oh, yeah, you actually can go to a different Paul, yeah. Show up on the Finger Lakes. And I know, Paul, they're conspiring against you. Around the Real Layout podcast. There you go. Okay, so we're taking this little makeup sponge here and sign up. Generate some revenue. There you go. All right. VHS Railroad. Yeah, I mean, that's, if you want, when I finish this, I'll explain it one more time since you come in a little later. You could watch the layout that's mostly done. Or you can watch the repeat. These videos are up after the stream. These will be up forever on YouTube, and you can watch the replay. But basically, we're just putting dots of colors that are complementary to the color that's on the car, and that's what you use to get a fade. Yeah. Yeah. Always consult the color wheel, and the color wheel will be your friend. It'll show you what colors you need to make this get this effect. So there you go. That's a nice little fade going on there. See if we can wipe a little bit more away here. Well, I don't think I'll be around in that time, so I'm not worried about that, right? All right. A little too heavy on the Lehigh there. All right. So we're almost where we want to be with this. So just to give you BHS an idea of where we were at. The car started off this color here, all right? We found out what our opposite colors are on the color wheel. Those were the dots of paint you saw, the green and the blue with the white mixed in. That's what dulls out the color of the car, so you can see it is a lot duller than we started with. And the white lightens it up. So first thing you do on a fade, you want to kind of like mute the color that's there. No, I do not clear coat cars or anything. I do not, I don't clear coat them, and I do not, what am I looking for here? I don't coat the cars afterwards to seal things in. When everything dries and it dries to the touch, these cars can really take a lot of handling. You might notice a little bit rub off from your fingers, but you're not going to leave any finger marks or nothing like that. I've never had that problem. But that's a good question. But I normally don't do any clear coats. The only thing I would do is there's certain manufacturers of cars, some of the old MDC cars, which I really don't mess with anyway, they have a very shiny, some of the old Bowser cars have a very shiny paint job on them. And I will hit them with dull coat before I work on those, because you just need a little something for a tooth for the pigments and stuff to grab onto. All right, so there we go. We got our little fade going on there. We got this side and this side. We are going to work on the ends now. All right. Yeah. I think this is a Stewart car. Pretty sure it's a Stewart car. So anyway, all right. So we're going to do the same thing on the ends. So let's get our use acrylic wash for fade and oils for extra detail. Yeah, there's more than one way to skin a cat. Any cat lovers out there, sorry about that analogy, but you know, I found I mostly work with the enamels, but I will use, like I used acrylic inside the other cars that I worked on tonight. You guys that came in late, you missed the Penn Central gondolas I've been working on the past 2 streams. I finished that up tonight. All right, so we got some green dots on there. And let me do the other side while we got this out. And I did use acrylic inside the car. I used an acrylic rust because I wanted that to dry fast. And then once that was dried, I went back with my enamel wash and my pigments. All right, so as you know, the acrylics and the enamels don't mix together, so you can use them for the layer up effects without them blending together on you. So let's get some blue here now. So again, blue and green is the opposite of this boxcar red / Pennsy Tuscan. And that's the colors that it's going to mute out that color. Get on the brake wheel, a little bit there. And let's get our white. Yeah, these are the MIG, Ammo by MIG oil brushers. So they are oil paints. They're in the tubes, and what's nice about them, you will notice I've been using these for quite a few months now. So they're getting a little crusty around the screw top there, but the brushes stay good. The paints don't dry out, and it's really nice to work with, and they're not expensive. They're only like maybe $4 a tube, so $4 or $5 a tube. You can get them any place that you get your MIG by Ammo products. I get mine from Spray Gunner down in Florida, Spray Gunner Hobbies. I bought a whole set of them, but they have a lot of great colors. But you can also use, you can get the variety pack. That's what I did. They had a special on a pack of, I think, like 8 colors, I think it was. Yeah, 8 colors, pack of 8. All different colors that I could use. Very useful for me. All right. Close this up tight. Go back with our brushes to mix them in. And you're going to see it's a big mishmash here. Yeah, I mean, they'll work on the wheel faces too. I mean, if you get a rust color, all right. Or you could do a burnt umber or whatever for rust. And mix this in, and we just keep rubbing it in. Go back with another brush. Cleaner brush. Yeah, no problem. We have a whole series of videos on this channel. I started this about, I want to say, 4 or 5 months ago. A lot of them covering these topics, different color cars, different types of cars. They are all up on there, and feel free to go back and watch them. And you can kind of get an idea of the method to my madness here. All right, let's go back to the other side. Also, link to what we used tonight. Yeah. Yeah. I'll have a list of every product that I used tonight on the description page once the live is posted as a replay. All the oil brushes that I've used tonight, the different washes, what pigments I've used. Along with a link to Spray Gunner's website, so you can order what you need. Yeah, it's not sponsored, if unofficially sponsored. I just like them. Yeah. The layout's a whole unfinished project itself, Paul. And it doesn't even match what I've been weathering. You would think with all these Penn Central cars that I'm modeling Penn Central on the layout, and I'm not. I am modeling the Ironton in the 1950s. So I have a whole set of other cars. I did some of the cars. You see some of the cement hoppers I've done in the past. And that's all for the Ironton layout. And I did, I don't think you were on that night, Paul. I did give everybody a layout tour one night. Nothing wrong with being sponsored. It's just, I don't have enough people to hook a sponsor yet, you know. I'd love to get Spray Gunner to give me a sponsorship, even if it's just a little bit of free product, you know. But again, I am a very happy customer of theirs, and that's why I always plug them every week. Because they have everything. And it's not just the MIG products. I mean, they have every single MIG product that I can want. And I used to have to order them straight from Spain. And depending on whether they send it airmail or by ship, I would either get these products in a few days or I would get them in a few weeks. So to have somebody that's in states that has all the MIG products makes me a very happy camper. Oh, that was Chris. He's just reminding people that Spray Gunner is not a sponsor of the show. They have super fast shipping. I ordered from Spray Gunner. I got it in a couple of days. So, hey, so you got a nice, nice little dirty fade going on there. And let's go on the other side with the. I do have a sponsor though, kind of, for the beer. My cousin owns a bottle shop for non-alcoholic beverages. She's the one that supplies me with my non-alcoholic beers. Tonight's beer as well being Victory Wheat. It's got a little hint of orange in it. It also has electrolytes in it. So in summertime when you're sweating, that's a good beer to have. I should be sponsored. Yes, I should be. But give it time, Chris. I will be sponsored. But again, like I said, my cousin does kind of sponsor me. She supplies me with some beers, some very good beers, craft. All right, Paul. Thank you. Sponsored by oh yeah, you're my official overseas delivery. So if anybody's going to be in Australia and you want something delivered, my sponsor around the Layout podcast, Ray Arnott, will bring it to you. Anyway, she gives me beers. She gets I do buy them from her to try to support her, but she also gives me some free beers, and she also, as an official sponsor, and she is an official sponsor of Saturday Night Live Weathering. If you order from Unleaded Beverages, unleadedbeverages.com, and you put in the promo code Cousin Teddy, with capital C OUSIN, capital TEDDY, you will get 10% off your order of craft brew non-alcoholic. Everything's non-alcoholic. They have non-alcoholic wines. They have non-alcoholic spirits, bourbons, tequilas. Believe it or not, it has all the flavor without the hangover, they say. So let's give this a little bit more of a wipe. And there we go. We got our fade going on here, guys. So again, like I said, Cousin Teddy's the promo code. Get 10% off your order from Unleaded Brewing Company, Unleaded Beverage Company. There you go. Yes, my car will be in Sydney at the Sydney RPM. Without me, I'll be there in spirit, but Ray will be there. And I'll be an international weatherer. Yeah. All right, so guys, again, you can see inside the car, it's the original color. Hey, you know what? I get the inspiration of watching my wife put the makeup on. But also I've seen other weatherers using these. All right, these come in handy. And they're very cheap. I mean, I got this bag at my local supermarket. I think they were like $2 a bag for a bag of sponges. My wife, who is my enabler with this stuff, she's ordered makeup sponges off of Amazon for me. I think it was a pack of 100 for, I think, $10. And then I also have gotten makeup sponges from Dollar Tree for $1 a bag. Use them use them till they're dirty, throw them out. You don't have to wash them or nothing. Same thing with the brushes. Brushes are all Dollar Tree brushes. I do. I bought this off of Amazon. It's what the ladies use for their eyelids, right? I got more makeup supplies than, who was that lady that was on Drew Carey's show? What was her name? I got more than her. All right. All right, guys, so we got the fade going all the way around the car. All right. So let's see, might as well keep going, right? Want to keep going? Mimi, there you go, yeah. All right, so let's add a little bit more to the, see, dark brown for, again, this is a Twisted Sister too. Oh yeah, D. Snyder, yep. All right, so for the grime, I'm going to use, again, this is not a green vehicle, all right, but I found for browns and more darkish reddish cars, the dark brown wash for green vehicles works very well for a rain streak and rain grime on the car. So we're going to use a little bit of this on this car to grime it up. So let's get our pipette here. Pipe some into the tray. And see if we can find the brush that we're using before for this. This one right here. All right. So we're going to go again for those of you who are new. We do a streak of wash across the top of the car. You can just like that. You're going to bring down random strokes down the side, especially along the vertical seams. And wipe the brush off. Going to go back and blend that in. And again, we're going from the top of the car. This is where the rain is running from the top of the car. It's dripping the grime down the side of the car. And you see we did random because we don't want the whole car dark as some of the other parts of the car. All right, we're going to do the same thing on the end. A little bit across the top. Bring some of it down, especially into the channels and onto parts of the ladder and stuff like that where we're built up on top. Brake wheel. Dry off the brush a little bit. Go back and blend it in. Go to here, this side of the car. Again, run it across the top. Get a little bit more. And bring down random strokes, especially down the vertical seams. Dry the brush off, go back and blend this in. Especially on the ladders. Get some down on the slope sheet down there. Last end of the car. Across the top there. Bring some down into the channels there. Dry the brush off. Go back and blend that in. And we're going to go back to the front part where we started at. We're going to go back with a sponge. And we want to wipe some of this away. So, very lightly. That's going to blend it. We're going to work our way around the car. Same thing. Blend it in. I missed that. I'm a Jersey boy. Oh yeah, Twisted Sister. Yeah. I thought Dee Snider was in Long Island though. You saying Dee Snider's a Jersey boy, or me? I'm a Jersey boy. I'm a Jersey boy, but yeah, I don't know why I thought Dee Snider was from Long Island. I could be wrong. All right. So you can see what we're doing. We blended a lot of that in, but it's collecting inside here on the sides of the ribs here, of these vertical ribs. All right, and that's going to kind of build up inside there. And when it dries, Snyder and me. All right, that's something I didn't know. You taught me something new tonight, Chris. Yes, I always thought Dee Snider was Long Island, but we'll take him. All right. Okay, come around to this side of the car, same thing. Get into those ladders a little bit. So when that dries, it's going to dry. It's going to be all built up inside that channel there, just like rain streaks. So last part right here. Okay. Again, what we're looking for is that we want this to be, yeah, check. Because you might know better than me, Chris. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure he was Long Island, but I could be wrong. We can go back to our earth tone pigments. Again, like I said, this is Russian earth and a little bit of dark earth mixed together. MIG products. And we don't want that. Let's get a dry brush. That's wet. All right, just brush right here. Again, we're going to take some of this pigment. The pigment's representing what's on the roadbed, gets kicked up from the train as it's going by. So we do the pigment along the bottom. We want to do it while this wash that's on here is still a little tacky. That's what's going to help it adhere to the car. And then we just brush some of it up the side of the car like this. Knock off the excess. All right. Same thing on the other side of the car. Get some of this wash, this pigment on the bottom. And just kind of kick it up the side of the car a little bit. All right, Paul, take care. Yeah. Thank you, BHS. I appreciate that. It's very easy. And again, we are not making museum quality cars here. We are trying to get a quick weathering job on our cars so they don't look like brand new cars all over the layout. Give a quick little dusting off there. So you can see it's very, very slight. Yeah, right. You're quite the taskmaster there, Ray. I have to get some on the bottom here in this these slope sheets. All right. And again, just like on the other cars, we're going to get some along the bottom here. The car's going down the track, and it gets kicked up on the side of the car. So we want to get some grime built up into the in the middle of the car like this to represent what's kicked up off the from the other cars there. Same thing on the other side. Yeah. Only heathens work on Sundays. All right. And there we go. Let's take a look around the side of the car. All right. So you can see we faded We have our grime coming down the side of the car, the dust that's kicked up. And this has been about an hour's worth of work, including the, no, even less than an hour's worth of work, including the fade. So a little smaller car. All right. And then for the newcomers, we'll go back and we'll show you real quick the painting the wheels and painting the side frames. So the wheels, we use this old rust. It's an acrylic. It's the same stuff that I used inside the two Penn Central cars to get the rust on the inside. Dries very quickly. It's for brush or airbrush. Thanks, Chris. I appreciate it. Gives us a quick shake up here. Let's use the shaker. All right. Put a couple drops into the tray here. No need too much because the wheel faces are not that big. And again, for the wheels, we use our little micro brush. We'll dip it in the paint. Take our finger and spin the wheel with the brush with the paint on it. I know it's probably a little hard to see right there, but what we're doing is I'm spinning the wheel and letting the paint flow inside there. Another dip of the paint. Go to the back wheel here. A little bit more right here. All right. Get some paint. We're going to go to the front wheels now. Tip one more time. All the way around. And you can see when that dries, it dries a little darker. It looks a little lighter as it's wet, and it dries a little bit darker once it's dry. Same thing with these wheels here on this side. Nice amount of paint on the micro brush. Work it around the inside. So no need to pop the wheels out of the axles. You know what? I mean, as long as you're not getting them into the axle journals, and you're not, because look, you got a little micro brush, right? I'll show you on one of these wheels here. These are wheel sets that I've popped out from weeks past, right? I'm not getting it on the pointed part. I'm just going around the inside. And that's it. I mean, you could pop them out if you want, and it might be a little easier to paint them up if you wanted to, you know. You could do that. I mean, a lot of times when I'm working on cars, these are code 110s, all right? I like to use the fine scale code 88 wheels, so I'll paint the wheels before they go inside the car. This particular car already had the wheels on it. That's why I'm painting them. Same thing with the with the two exact rail cars. I already had the wheels on them, so I just kept them on the car and painted them while they were on the car. But you can do it like this. And again, you just give it a quick spin. No need to go crazy with a spray gun and masks and what do you call it? Not templates, jigs, any wheel jigs or anything like that, you know. You got a ready to run car, you want to rush your wheels up, just leave it on the car. Again, we're trying to do some quick weathering. This is not Butch Eiler or Dave Oppositano quality cars, but they are good enough cars. They are cars that when they're running on the layout, they will look like they're weathered and not just out of the box. And that's what I'm going for here. So. Yeah, definitely the micro brush helps. You can also use a 000 fine brush if you wanted to, but how the micro brushes, I buy them by the hundreds. Use them once and throw them out, which is what you're supposed to do with micro brushes anyway. So you don't want to clean micro brushes and save them. So, and that's that. See, that's how it looks with that. You can see this side is drying. See, it's drying to a darker rust color. All right, the last thing we'll do is we'll they don't like to spread apart. Yeah, I haven't worked with those yet. You have trouble getting in. Yeah, that looks better on the drier side, I know, right? And you can tell the difference. Look at this, kind of bright there. And it's kind of dried up really to a nice darker rust color. All right. All right, the last thing I'll show you guys, again, the people that have been here every week, they've seen this before, but there's a lot of new people here tonight, so I'll just go into this real quick. We are going to take some of our cursed soil paint, and this is just a regular paint. It could be any tan color or brown color paint. We are not looking to paint the side trucks brown or anything like that, or a tan color. We want to just get something that's going to be a little bit of a little bit light underneath the pigments that we're going to drop on top. And it's going to hold the pigments. So all I'm doing is I'm putting this paint here. All right. Do the other side too. And that paint is going to help the pigment adhere. We put the dry pigments on here, so it gives it like a little bit of a textured look. Okay, so we've been using this brush for pigments. So dip this brush in the pigment over here and just kind of dab it on the side. Same thing over here. Let's bring this over. It's almost time to refill this. Okay, we just knocked off the excess. I don't know if you can notice, now the trucks aren't shiny. They got a little bit of a grime and a texture to it. And that's the wet paint with the pigment adhering to the outside of the wet paint. So it gives you that kind of that textured look. So do the same thing on the other side. I need to get a little bit more cursed soil in here, so. Here it is. Shake it up. Yeah, we're into our marathon live feed tonight, guys. 2 hours. But you requested it, so we're keeping it going. All right. There we go. All right, let's get our brush again. There is it. Just going to cover that with the paint. It's a little too heavy, going to take some off. All right, go back with our other brush again. Get some of the earth tone pigment on there. Same thing on this one. Knock off the excess. And you can see it just gives it some texture. It gives it that road grimy look and with some texture. And you can see all the wheels are dried now. And that's it. Let's give a look around the car. It's one side, one of the ends, the other side, the other end, and the wheels. There you go, guys. So we knocked out 2 cars in 2 hours. Let's drop our homemade cold load back in there again. And I think it's a pretty good looking hopper car. You guys, you like how it came out? I like it. Now, this is a car, Chris, that'll be on my layout. And guys, this fits into the era of the Ironton Railroad 1950s, late 50s. So, and for those of you who wondering what's going on with the Penn Central stuff, those of you who know me know I have an affinity for Penn Central. I belong to the Penn Central Society. I participate in a lot of stuff with those guys. And my Penn Central stuff is stuff I do for RPMs. So that's my outlet for Penn Central for RPMs. I think the future plan is to make a couple of Fremo modules with catenary, because I'm a bugger for electrics. Yeah, I mean, it depends on how thick you're going with them, VHS. Because we are kind of like working with them, and we're pushing, we're spreading it out and thinning it out. It dries quicker. Just to be honest with you, I think you're new here this week. In weeks past, what we've done a fade 1 week, and then we go back the following week and take the cars and do the washes and stuff on them, because the washes have a tendency to loosen up the oils because they're all the same median. This car dried pretty quickly tonight, so we were able to get away with it. But technically, you know, a lot of times I would like, in a perfect world, I would let it dry a couple of days before I go back and do anything with that. Probably a day or two. All right, let's put them off to the side, let them dry really good. In the past, I've been able to handle them a little bit quicker, but because I'm doing the oils for the fades and stuff, I give a little bit more time to dry off. But within a day or two, it should be dry enough to handle. And again, you could probably try and dull coat these if you wanted to, if you wanted to play it safe. I have never done it. I've never felt the need to do it. I had a layout that had 100-something cars on it that I've used this technique on, that I weathered all the cars. Took cars on and off the layout all the time. And the most I would see is a tiny bit of maybe material on my fingers, but never any fingerprints or anything on the cars. So that is totally your call if you want to do it. I have never done it, so I can't tell you if the dull coat would do anything to any of the products that's on there. You know how sometimes you use chalk or whatever and you dull coat it and then it just washes away. Like I said, I've never had the need to do it, and I really don't think you have to do it. Again, this is just something I developed myself, you know, and it works for me. It might not work for everybody else, but hopefully there's a lot of people who are on this live feed tonight with me that have taken my hands-on clinic at RPMs. Chris is here, he can attest to it, and a few other people. I do this at RPMs and bring my materials, and people weather their cars, and they weather their cars within an hour, and they're very happy with it. It's an easy technique to use to get your cars dirtied up. That's where I kind of call it a quick and easy weathering process. So anyway, hey, listen, bonus car tonight, guys. Lehigh Valley car. I'm gonna have to put that in the description somehow so people know we had a bonus car tonight. So anyway, guys, let me take a sip of beer before I bid you all adieu. Again, weathering and beers go together on a Saturday night. Yeah, it shouldn't be a risk. And the thing is that I know that they're robust and they hold up well because my old layout had a active staging, which is basically had a couple of tracks that train came in. I would take cars off on ZCL takes less time, isn't this? I would take cars on and off the layout all the time, and I never had a problem with smudges or fingerprints or anything like that. So it's battle tested. If you have staging yards and you don't handle your cars hardly at all, even better. So anyway, cheers again, guys. It's been a pleasure. Really appreciate everybody coming out tonight and supporting the channel. And again, like I said, if you're looking for certain things, you know, for weathering stuff, go to spraygunner.com. If you want a good non-alcoholic beer, head to unleadedbeverages.com. And I really appreciate you guys being here. And thank you so much for supporting the channel. And I'll catch you again next week, 9 o'clock, Saturday night, here on YouTube. Bye-bye.